Hey, Brian, what we doing today?
So today, everybody in their house got all types of seasonings and marinades that you generally use. And a lot of these guys I use, right? You got the Obey up in there, some seasoning salt, all your general seasonings that most people have in their house, right? Well, today, no disrespect to these guys, we want to introduce you to the latest seasoning that you need in your cabinet. We got 2400 herbal seasoning rub, which is one of our first products to what we're launching right now. And we just want to try it out today. We're going to try it out on a few different things. We're going to start off with some chicken, cool?
Alright, let me see this. You saying this will beat out Obey?
That's a beat out. That's what
you
beat out
saying this will beat out McCormick's?
It's going to beat out McCormick's.
We grew up on that stuff.
I'm telling you, this is going to beat it out, and I'll tell you why. One of the things with the seasoning that we're doing right here is you really getting herbs and spices and not just salt. No disrespect to those guys, but there's a lot of preservatives in most of the seasonings. So when I went on my journey of, kind of playing around for fun, making seasonings for my own household, one of the things that I noticed is most of the seasonings in the grocery store have a ton of preservatives, different salt preservatives, just so that it can last longer, right? And it don't clunk up and stuff like that. Well, one day I was making something in the house and I just put, maybe a nice sprinkle on, and it was just too much. It wasn't even, I didn't cover the whole thing, it was just too much. Made it for the house and I was like, man, this is so salty. So I started looking up different rub recipes and what's in them. And I just started buying spices, man. And I say probably like 5 months later, maybe 7 months later, here we are with the own rub that I came up with. Basically, it's a rub. It's an herb rub. So it's got about 7, 8 different herbs in it. You go ahead and check them out. Basil, you got it.
Yeah, I see black pepper, onion flakes, celery salt, garlic flakes, one of my favorite, thyme, lavender, savory, basil. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a great seasoning because it has that herb aroma to it, but it also has that black pepper that's gonna give some flavor. And it got the two #1 seasonings in America: onions and garlic.
Yes.
Right?
The trifecta.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how you start everything. And then it does have salt in it, but not too much. It has kosher salt, which is, it's not quite as salty as like your usual, I guess it's what,
iodine salt.
Iodine salt. So,
Himalayan.
Yeah. So it doesn't give you just all salt flavor. You get everything and all the elements hit you at once. So, for the first thing that we're going to do, we got this whole bird here, and we're going to show you the steps of how to activate this thing and get it going.
Okay, say chicken, fish, beef, and pork.
Pork, lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, works well.
On everything.
On everything. Yes, indeed. On everything.
Let's see you do your thing then, man.
All right. So, first, number one thing with anytime you cook your meat, clean up. So we already missed it. We washed our hands real nice. Cleaned our space real good. Got the board all cleaned up, knives all cleaned up, and ready to go. So just remember, safety is first when you're in that kitchen cleaning. You don't want to get anybody from saying no or anything. But yeah, so the first step, Kuna, is number one thing with this, and I recommend it when you're making it at home, to try to do this part the night before. So it's really you want to activate the herbs, right? And I'm not, a trained chef. I'm, a chef by fun and experience in my own home.
And the family
man, right? But I don't know if activate is the correct term for the chefs out there, but that's what I call it. You get it activated by getting those herbs wet with the olive oil that creates a little bit of a marinade. If you do it overnight, it's going to get through that chicken and kind of permeate through all of that skin and into the meat itself. So I'm going to get started. So basically, a little olive oil, right?
I'm getting that in my coffee, man.
Yeah, you get a little olive oil here. And it's no real measurements. You're literally just giving that thing a bath. So you want to, get in there. This is why you need your hands clean. Because you're going to really get in there. And you're going to give it a bath. One of the techniques that I'm not going to do here just for the look of the chicken, give it a nice presentation. But when I'm at home just cooking for the fam, I'll go ahead and cut the back out and do a spatchcock. Take that bone out and kind of just to speed up that cooking process. But for the sake of, just presentation, we're gonna go ahead and leave that bird whole and together. So after we get that olive oil cooled down, we're gonna go ahead and open up that 21 spice. Go ahead and pop that seal that we really worked really hard on. I kind of feel bad popping. Go ahead and pop that food. You smell it take over the room?
Okay, I can smell a lot of the flavors banging.
Yeah, take over the room when you smell it. So you can go ahead and I recommend giving it a good shake. Before you go ahead and stir, just get all that shaking up, make sure nothing's hanging at the bottom. You know what I mean? So get that little shaking. And then it's no real measurements. Just cover this bad boy. You get a nice little covering of those herbs, those spices.
Man, you can smell that aroma.
Yeah, it takes over the house. So as you do that, again, my technique, I just like to get it in there. Just kind of like kneading dough. Just get that all up on the chicken. We're going to go inside it as well. Just kind of get it nice and covered. Just on a little note here, start your oven up at this point, right? You want to get it set. For me, I'm all about temperature, so I like to go with things kind of nice and slow. So I'll set mine at about 300, right? And for a small bird like this, 300 is probably like an hour and a half or so. The temp that we're looking for is about 163 or so is what you want internal temp into the white meat, the breast part. And then pull it out at that point, let it sit and rest for about 10-15 minutes, and it finishes weighted at 165, 170 range. So that's that internal temp that you want. But go ahead and get that oven set if you're following along while watching the video. Go ahead and get a little more. And then one last step.
You can't put too much of that on.
You cannot put too much of that on. That's a great question. You cannot put I say it again, you cannot put too much of it on. And even for me, a little technique here is to take your knife and kind of get under the skin a little bit there. And just cut a little bit out. Never mind my knife technique. So you just want to pull back, cut a little bit of that out. And when you get a space right in there to the breast meat.
Inside the pockets.
Inside the pockets, right into that breast meat. And then we're going to do the same thing. Oil, and the reason why we use oil is because if you don't use that oil, that wet for the herb, you can burn the herb themselves. So using that oil, they'll cook, they'll burn on them. Yeah, they'll burn on them. So what you want to do is use a little bit of that oil in there just to get it right. And then just take that herb inside there on the breast, right in there. Get that herb inside there.
I'm not gonna believe this.
Inside, I'm gonna take. Go ahead. Just like when you're making the turkey, right? And you're stuffing that turkey with the herbs itself. Same thing.
Oh, you gotta take a pic. Let me see.
There you go. Yeah. You get that herb in there.
And you put that inside as well.
Right inside as well. Just to get that aroma. A lot of flavor comes from aroma. Just that seasoning, that smell, get it in and throughout the meat that you're cooking. So, you get it in there. Like when you make your turkeys on Thanksgiving, for those of you that make turkey on Thanksgiving, you stuff that turkey, that bird, with that thyme and that sage and rosemary blend. It's the same kind of idea. That herb inside, a little sprinkle inside, just so that it can push through and get into that meat as well as it cooks.
Now, was this your first herb that first seasoning that you ever developed, or?
No, so this is probably, I don't know, I probably made at least 20 or 30 of these things before I kind of landed on this one. This probably wasn't even our first choice of herb to come. So, this
you said as a hallmark.
Yeah, as far as a hallmark, exactly. This is really more the time. The good thing about this herb is I thought of going with this one first for us as we go into 2400 is because it's getting cold out. So one of the things that we're going to do down the road is great in soups. So usually in soups you might sprinkle some rosemary, some thyme in your soup. Well, guess what? All that is in there. And also, the salt's already in there, black pepper to add a little more flavor now you take exactly what you normally do with your soups through the winter. And you just, instead of adding herbs from somewhere else, you just add that 21 seasoning on everything.
So you saying I can
Right
boil water? I can boil water and just pour that inside.
With a little bit of
and
chicken,
use.
little chicken broth, you know,
Yeah.
what it takes to make soup. Just do your usual steps. But when you season your soup, season it with that 2400 herb. You know. We're gonna make a video for you for that one too. That's coming. So we all set. So we're nice and oiled down. We got the herbs. Everything's activated.
So what kind of pan? What kind of? It looks good, man. It looks already tasty.
Right.
What kind? Do you use a certain pan? Do you use a certain?
Yeah.
You know, or you could just throw it in anything.
Yeah. I mean, you get, you know, the one pan that I would recommend, you know, for it is you can put it in cast iron. You know, a nice little cast iron pan. That's usually a lot of times what we do with our birds is the cast iron pan.
With lid or
no lid. Let that thing go. You can cover it a little bit and maybe with some oil, you know, and let it go. If you're gonna cook it at a higher temperature, but because we cook it around 300, you ain't really gotta worry about burning the skin. Keep trying it out because you're not cooking at high temperature. You're cooking slow. You know what I mean? So, but if you decide what you can. Cook this thing at 375, 400, you're more than welcome to. It won't destroy anything. It's gonna cook a little faster, but probably want to cover it so that you don't dry it all out without dry chicken. Right? So yeah, that's how we do it. So we're gonna slide this bad boy in the oven for about maybe about an hour and a half. We'll see you guys on the other side.
All right, perfect. All right. I can't wait.
So,
oh boy,
chicken's out of the oven, folks. So that put us at about, we went there for maybe about an hour and 20 minutes or so. We was in there around about 300. And then we finished it off with about a 5-minute broil. You know, one of the things is some secret tips, right? For things to do while I was in the oven. Is, you know, every like half an hour, you know, so probably twice through the process. Just go ahead and take a little olive oil, you know, and just cover it nicely. Simple as just a little pour, just to kind of get that thing, keep it glistening. Right?
Glistening.
Yeah, keep it glistening. So that little pour. And every half an hour, you just want to hit it with that, and it'll give you a nice little crisp to your skin. And especially when you get to the part of right before you broil it, give it a nice little drizzle so that you get that skin looking just right. See that
steam coming out, oh man.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. That's the herb rub right on the chicken. It looks good. It presents well at the table. So
are you scared of that?
Not at all. Want to see what that thing is.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Let's see.
We want to check out your carving techniques.
Again, by this flavor. Yeah, see that in there? All that juice coming out.
Yeah.
Right?
If I was at home, I would just pick right off. Right, you know what I mean? But, you know. Oh man, oh man, oh.
It's hot.
Oh, it is hot. And you see the juice coming off of it. Man.
What you got? Simple. Didn't take much. Easy, folks.
And just to rub and oil, you did that?
Just to rub and oil, you did that. That's it.
I think I'd be biased if I said it was delicious.
No, you be telling the truth. Easy. Easy.
Okay.
So again, that's the chicken with the 2400 rub, but
I don't think you can do that a second time.
you got more coming. See y'all in a minute.